So many sets ago, there was a pesky character that caused so much of a problem that Ravensburger had to step in and errata them, effectively destroying any chance of anyone playing that card ever again. That was the Age of Bucky. Now, with the new set Arcasia's Island out and everyone playing and enjoying it, we could have a new card in contendership for either an errata or an all-out ban. Let's talk about it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the video. I'm TheXploder and I like to play Lorcana a lot. Literally, I'm there every Thursday at my locals. My local lot will vouch for me. Please vouch for me in the comments, locals. I know you're watching this. Please help a brother out. Engagement, please! Today we're going to talk about a problematic card. A card that has taken social media and the Lorcana community at large by storm, has already taken on some really big decks in major tournaments and local scenes around the world, and has caused some controversy. Let's talk about Belle. Specifically, we're talking about this Belle. Belle, the Apprentice Inventor. She is a free cost, free for one lore, and has the effect, What a Mess. During your turn, you may banish chosen item of yours to play this character for free. You heard it right, and you're reading it right. You can effectively play this Belle for free, and all you need to do is banish an item. Now, some of you may think, what items are going to be the most beneficial to banish to play Belle as, let's say, as early as turn 1? Let's go through some options, and these options alone should give you an idea as to how crazy Belle is. One of the first and one of the most obvious pick in the same colour scheme as this Belle is the Sapphire dreaded item boy on turn 1, Porpsicle. A very simple and easy item. You play it, you draw a card, you can banish it to remove 2 damage off of a chosen character, but you mostly play Porpsicle to get that turn 1 card draw, or that card draw whenever you need it. Other options that are similar to Porpsicle but in other colour schemes would be cards like Fortisphere. Classic card, I personally love Fortisphere. Again, you play it and you draw a card, so combining this with Porpsicle so you get even more card draws, pretty darn nuts. But with Fortisphere, you pay 1 and banish it and you can give one of your characters Bodyguard. Handy when you need it, but not necessarily all the time. But the newest card on the block that's causing the scene with Belle is the Ruby Unconventional Tool. A common item card, 1 cost and inkable, with the effect fixed in no time. When this item is banished, you pay 2 less for the next item you play this turn. So effectively, one of the most ideal plays that you want to do, if you're playing the deck turn 1, you can play a Porpsicle, draw a card, and then immediately play out the Belle, banish the Porpsicle, and you have a free statted, free cost character as early as turn 1. Mad, but the most ideal play is to play it alongside Ruby, so that now, turn 1 you play Unconventional Tool. After you've played Unconventional Tool, you play Belle, you banish the Tool, and now you can play an item from your hand for 2 costs cheaper, which is awesome. But what items that are 2 cost or less in, let's say, Ruby Sapphire, are viable? Let's go through a few options to give you an idea. So what I've done here, I'm using Dreamborn and I have sorted out the cards in order of them being 1 cost, 2 cost, and being in Ruby and Sapphire specifically. And you can see we have 28 cards for options here, which is a lot, but some are going to be better than others. Some of the ones I would personally recommend are cards like Vitalisphere, for example. You're able to put it out on the board, you banish it later on, get rush and +2 attack. This is handy for anything that you want to put out on the board that you just want to deal with a certain threat with or anything along those lines. Heck, you could just have another Porpsicle in your hand, or if you played Unconventional Tool first, now you have a Porpsicle for free. You draw a card, so you're back to an average hand size on turn 1, and that's not as bad. Pretty cool. Play things such as the new coils, Ruby Coil, which will give you +2 attack whenever you put something into your Inkwell this turn, or the preferably Sapphire Coil, which reduces an opponent's character's attack by 2 whenever you put a card into your Inkwell. Want to do something quirky with it? You can even play it with Microbots, and you get Microbots out for free, and when you play Microbots, now one of your opposing characters has -1 attack, and that stacks for every Microbot you're able to stack after this one. Nuts. Medal of Heroes is a mark-out one if you just want to get that out nice and early. And then your Belle, if it's the only character you have out by the time turn 2 comes around, guess what? Now that Belle can effectively quest for free lore as early as turn 2, making her a great option for anti-hyper aggro plays. So the choices you have here are major. But the major thing you need to keep in mind as well is that if you're an absolute mad lad, you can combo this again on turn 1. Because remember, Belle's effect isn't necessarily you can only do this once per turn. If it was you can only do this once per turn, then you can only have one Belle out this way every single turn, and that's absolutely fine. But with how it's written so far, you can do the tech I've said earlier. Let's say you do unconventional tool, play the Belle, banish unconventional tool, you then play a Porpsicle from your hand, draw a card, let's say that card you just drew is another Belle, play that Belle for free, banish for Porpsicle, now you have 2 free Belles out on the board that could just be beat sticks for as much as you want. Hell, they're even great because now as free costs, they can sing, they can bop, they can do quite a lot. And that's just in Ruby Sapphire. There are other color combinations that can really take advantage of Belle, the other one being Sapphire and Steel. And that's where the problems are starting to lie with this card. This card is currently existing in 2 pretty dominant decks. Bearing in mind, Sapphire and Steel hasn't been crazy dominant when we hit the meta scene for a while. If anything, it's been a bit of a sleeper hit. Some people have really benefited from Sapphire and Steel, other people just haven't. Ruby Sapphire, however, have been a very dominant deck, but not necessarily with Belle. Ruby Sapphire has mostly been benefiting from things like Maui Halfshark, where you're able to gain lore based on action economy. Now you're telling me, not just can you have that action economy, you can even have an item economy, use this Belle with the new Shift Belle that then lets you shuffle back these items back into your deck to gain even more lore, or even combine this with the item-based Tamatoa cards, and this becomes cracked. But do I think Belle is a problem on her own? No. And this is a bit of a hot take, but let me explain why. Belle can be a problem for anyone that is not capable of dealing with a big threat of her size as early as turn 1, turn 2, or even on turn 3. She can be a considerable threat in any deck that runs Sapphire. But the main thing you need to remember with Belle is that on her own, all she's effectively doing is being played for free. She doesn't have Rush innately, she doesn't have any way to quest straight away, she can't sing straight away, it's just a free character you get on the board anytime that you want, meaning that she has to be a vital combo piece for something you do later on, whether that be Tamatoa, being able to shuffle cards back into your hand or back into your deck to then benefit off of that, being able to play things like the Shift Belle like I spoke about earlier, again shuffling cards back into your deck and then able to get lore off of it that way. Without the combo pieces in your opponent's hand, without the ramp necessary after turn 1, being able to get to those higher cost characters as soon as you can to then benefit off of these plays, it's going to be hard for that player. So even though this Belle can be quite controversial and can be very devastating, especially in certain matchups, I don't think this Belle is absolutely broken. I just think this is an exceptionally incredible common card that I think anyone out there, whether you play Sapphire or not, should have a playset of, at least until an Errata happens, and this is where we get to a key point. Yes, I like this Belle. No, I don't think she's a huge problem, but I can potentially see her getting an Errata on the scale of Bucky. Do I think this means that her effect will be removed, or her cost changes, or anything along those lines? No, I don't think anything will change with her cost-wise, attribute-wise, or anything along those lines. I think the only thing they could change is if they literally put an additional piece of text in with its current ability text that says you can only use the effect of Belle, or this effect of Belle, once per turn. If they have something like that written on the card, that means that even if you do see this Belle turn 1, you will only ever see this Belle tech being used once per turn at any point in the game. So it's not as if we're talking about end game here where you've got so much ink, you may have so many cards in your hand, and you're just able to do item banish Belle, big shift Belle, quest for big shift Belle, shuffle 3 items back into your deck, gain 3 lore, and you're able to then consistently make that magic happen to whack out the game crazily that way. It's potentially possible, but that's a huge combo play to pull off that late in the game with a hyper-specific playstyle of Ruby and Sapphire. I definitely think the more dominant deck, in my opinion, is going to be in Sapphire and Steel. This definitely makes Sap Steel more formidable with this set as it was in last set, but even then, it's a very combo-heavy card. Your opponent needs the combos to benefit off of Belle as soon as she comes out onto the board. You may be terrified of her, but just remember, she's not immortal, she's only a 3/3 in the grand scheme of things in the end of the day. But I could be glossing over things, I could be stupid, I could be big dumb boy that doesn't know any better. Oh, how dare I have an opinion! But if I am big dumb boy and you've experienced going against this Belle and had a good or bad experience going against her, playing with her, or anything like that, why don't you let me know over the comment section below your experiences with this character and your opinions with this character, because I'm all here for it. And at the end of the day, these are just my opinions. These aren't the opinions of some rad-clad, meta-defining, huge championship-level player that's going to tell you whether this is meta-defining or not. This is just the opinions of a guy that likes making Lorcana content, plays the game every Thursday as locals, and does it for fun. I love the game, I find it really fun, and I want to encourage fun. Fun! And with that said, we've come to the end of the video. Thank you all very much for watching. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments as per usual. Like, comment, subscribe like you do with all the YouTube jargon. You probably heard it a million times already today, and I'm sorry. You can check out all my other socials down in the description below if you want to tune in for some more explosive action in some other places, as well as the Discord server if you want to get extra friendly. Want me to cover anything in particular in the wonderful world of Lorcana, or want me to do anything like more locals matches, more deck techs, or anything along those lines? Let me know in the comments section below and I will do my best for you. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, stay safe, stay awesome, and most importantly, stay explosive. I'll be seeing you guys next time. Now, where did I put my 4 copies of Belle? I think I put her somewhere. Oh god. Did I already... I hope I haven't lost her.